Glories to Srila Prabhupada and Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devidasi from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Yeshumati Mataji, please accept my humble obeisance. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day, giving your association. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Mataji. Dandut pranams to all the devotees here. Jai Srila Prabhupada. And thank you, Ujjwal Prabhu. And thank you, Kirtida Mataji. I'm sure a lot of credit goes to the parent. And thank you for that beautiful chanting. As Mataji said, it was like you felt it and you chanted. In fact, I was asking Mataji if Prabhu knows Sanskrit. It was like that. It was not like just memorizing and repeating. Thank you for that. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. This is Sumi from Jersey City.
Hare Krishna, Sumi Mataji. Thank you so much for your association. Yes, Mataji. All glories to his parents, Kitida Mataji. That's so true, Mataji. It's if the child is able to recite nicely, it's all glories to the parents. We can see that parents are making him to grow very nicely. Thank you for your association, Mataji. Thank you for encouraging all of us, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Jai Shri Prabhupada, this is Preeti Vilasini Devidasi from Atlanta. Thank you for your warm welcoming, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Vilasni Mataji. Welcome back. We missed you a lot. Thank you so much for coming back and thank you for sharing all the beautiful pictures of your yatra. We would like to listen one class from you about all the glorious yatra, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Danvat Pranams, our glories to Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharajas and all the assembled Vaishnavas. This is Kirtida Sundridasi. Welcome back, Preeti Vilasni Mataji. We were missing your association.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be back.
Hare Krishna, Kirtida Mataji, please accept my humble obeisance. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji. Very grateful to your association, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? I think Prabhuji did not join and we have time. I will chant for some time.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandhavika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. My humble obeisances to all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Thank you so much, Mataji, for your wonderful services. And thank you, Prabhuji, for reciting Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, so nicely. Thank you, Mataji. This is Sundarangi Radha Devidasi from Canada.
Hare Krishna, Sundarangi Radha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisance. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining and giving your association every single day. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. This is Balavidya. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, this is Balavidya from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna, Balavrinda. Thank you so much for joining. Welcome to the call. Due to cold weather, we have holiday today also. I think Prabhuji did not join. I'll chant for some time. Jai Shri Krishna. No. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna.
Mataji, can we introduce or finished?
Yeah, we can introduce Mataji. I'm waiting for Prabhuji. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Sanita Ramya from Sharjah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Ramya Mataji, please accept my humble obeisance. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining and giving your sweet association every day. Welcome to the call. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? We will read the quote and wait for Prabhuji, Mataji. Okay. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Ramgiridhari Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of Caitanya Bhagavat, Madhya Khanda, 28th chapter, 37 to 46 verses. Before I hand over the call to Prabhuji, I would like to read Srila Prabhupada's quote for today. 22 January. In the spiritual world, also there is competition for the best satisfaction of Krishna. January 22, 1967. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Is Prabhuji there? No, we'll pause the recording. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna
Mataji,
Krishna.
Prabhuji is joining in a minute, he said.
Sure, Mataji. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Get away from here. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Ram.
What happened, Mataji?
Mataji, in YouTube live, your skits are not supposed to be seen, Mataji. That's why she's playing like that. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Stop. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna. Oh yeah, Prabhuji is there. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble call to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining the call and giving your sweet association. I think it's a last minute class. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Very grateful to you. Over to you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So those of you are looking forward for Achinta Gopesh. I'm not Achinta Gopesh. I am Ramgiridhari Das, a Joker card, last minute entry. So please forgive me. Haridas just called me sometime back, and I thought maybe Krishna is giving some service. So I'll try to. I do not know what verse even I'm going to take. I'll please bless me so that.
I can say
I know the verse. I know the verse number, but I've not even read those verses.
Oh,
So
many times we heard your last minute classes, Prabhuji. Always they are wonderful. Thank you so much for your association.
Please don't test my intelligence or test my devotion or test my anything like this, because sometimes I can fall flat, completely disaster also. So this is chapter 22, right?
No, Prabhuji, chapter 20.
Oh, chapter 20. Glories of Murari Gupta. Wow. Okay.
37 verse we have to start. 37 to 46.
Okay.
You want me to share, Prabhu?
No, I got it, Mataji. No problem. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So verse 37, chapter 20 of Madhya Khanda, Chaitanya Bhagavata. Ajabavananta Prabhura Vigraha Se Seveya Vigraha Prana Kari Puja Sarva Deve. The Supreme Lord's form is served by Brahma, Shiva and Ananta. All demigods worship this form as their life and soul. Text 38. Punya Pavitra Tapaya Ye Anga Parashe Taha Mitya Bale Betake Mana Sahase. Even the pious become purified by the touch of this form. So, how does that fellow dare to claim my body is false? Text 39. Satya Satya Karontore Ye Parakashas Satyamui Satyamora Dasa Tara Dasa. I openly reveal to you that I am eternal, my servants are eternal, and the servants of my servants are eternal. Text 40. Satyamora Leela Karma Satyamora Sthana Iha Mitya Bhale More Kare Kana Kana. My pastimes and activities are eternal, and my abode is eternal, and anyone who says they are false cuts me into pieces. Text 41. Ye yashah shravane adi avidya vinasha papi adhyapake bale mitya se vilasa. By hearing my glories, all ignorance is destroyed, yet sinful teachers say the Lord's pastimes are false. Text 42 to 44. Ye yashas shravanarase Shiva Digambaram Yaha Gaya Apane Anantam Mahidara Ye Yashasravane Sukanaradadi Mattachari Vede Vakane Ye Yashere Mahatvahena Punya Kirti Prati Anandara Yarase Kabuna Jane Gupta Mora Avatara. Shiva leaves aside his clothes while relishing my glories. Lord Ananta, the sustainer of the universe, personally sings my glories. Personalities like Sukadeva and Narada become intoxicated by hearing my glories. The greatness of my glories is described by the four Vedas. O Murari, anyone who disregards such auspicious glories can never understand my incarnation. Text 45. Gupta Lakshe Sabhare Sikaya Bhagavan Satyamora Vigraha Sevaka Leela Sthanam. By teaching Murari, the Supreme Lord taught everyone, my form, servants, pastimes, and abodes are all eternal. Text 46. Apanara Tattva Prabhu Apane Shikaya Iha Ye Namane Se Apane Nashayaya. The Lord personally taught the truth about himself. One who does not accept this is vanquished. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yenam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutalim Srimate Bhakti Vedantam Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindam. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Caitanya Mahaprabhu, is speaking to Murari Gupta. He is saying that I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead and you are my surrendered servant. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam bhuta bhava samanvitaha. So, the point that Krishna is explaining to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is trying to establish that how anyone who is challenging the Supreme Lord's transcendental position of him being the personality of Godhead, how degraded that such thoughts are, and how by having such thoughts they are directly hurting the Supreme Lord. Nothing more can be said direct than this, that the Supreme Lord himself saying that I feel like my body is cut into pieces when somebody says my transcendental form is false. Lord Krishna is speaking to Arjuna. This is a reference from Padma Purana. Krishna is telling that, my dear Arjuna, me and my devotees are inseparable, and without the devotees, this entire universe won't be existing. Even to an extent, I won't be existing. So long as the Lord is in this universe, or the Lord's existence are there, that much time Jivas are also there, Vaishnavas are also there. The glories of the Supreme Lord are constantly chanted by the Vaishnavas. Mayavada Bhashya Koile Sunile Sarvanash. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has condemned that we should not hear Mayavada philosophy or Mayavada ideology, because they are not only wrong, because they are not only misconstrued thinking, but they are also offensive. They are also something that will directly hurt the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is definitely that this material world is temporary, but it is not false. There is a difference between asashvatam and something that is false. Asashvatam means the material world is temporary. Even though this may not be, the supreme, eternally present something, but they are real. They are created by the Supreme Lord for a specific agenda. In the purport to verse number 39, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura is writing, the manifestations of the Supreme Lord are eternal and are situated diametrically opposite to illusion. The Supreme Lord is factual. The service of the Supreme Lord is factual. The servants of the Supreme Lord are factual. Attributing materially designated temporariness on the Supreme Lord and the devotees endangers the concept of the super souls and the jiva's unchangeability. So it's a very powerful, profound point that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj is making against all those who challenge about the eternity of the Supreme Lord. So with whatever limited, intelligence I have, I would like to churn this current context, as always, through some set of instructions, set of reflections, so that we can appreciate what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is trying to tell Murari Gupta, or what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is repeating Krishna's words, or what Krishna has said to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. These words that we just read today, these verses, they are very much establishing the personalism aspect of the Supreme Lord, and to note that to even understand God is a person is a fundamental, a foundational understanding needed for every practitioner. His Holiness Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj, under the direction of Srila Prabhupada, he had spearheaded a project called Life Comes from Life. In fact, that is something Prabhupada wanted Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj to do it. So, there are two big challenges as scientists pose to practicing devotees. One is about the origin of the soul. Second is about the existence of God. And both of them are challenged, and both of them can be explained with the verses of Vaishnava Acharyas. And that's what Bhaktiswarup Damodar Maharaj, one of the projects were. So, my first reflection is about the duty and responsibility of a practicing Krishna conscious devotee in Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Because in the last several years of me being in Krishna consciousness, I have seen devotees themselves are shaken with this understanding about knowing that God is a person, especially the current younger generation. So my first reflection is to explain about this aspect of the Supreme Lord is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I will refer the purport of 38 number that we just read, and we'll discuss this particular reflection. I will read that purport, portion of the purport. Since the Mayavadis claim that the material world is false and therefore consider piety, purity, and the mode of goodness as sinful, impure, and a mixture of goodness, passion, and ignorance, the flow of their imagination is unable to ascertain the absolute truth. But the omnipotent Supreme Personality of Godhead is the only basis of all existence. Those who cannot understand that the Supreme Lord is eternally aloof from any difference between his body and self claim that the material world is false and fall from the truth by attributing a difference between the Lord's body and self. Only people who are most impudent have the audacity to declare that the eternal, spiritual, blissful form of the Lord is false. So my first reflection is based on this particular purport. To say that God is a person is a very important aspect of understanding. Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita that because people with poor fund of knowledge, because they are in ignorance, they don't understand that my form, which looks like the human form, could be transcendental. Avajananti mamuda manushim tanumashritam param bhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. So, in Ishopanishad, verse number 10, the prayer number 10 is a fantastic prayer. We need to understand that prayer to understand this particular aspect of understanding how God is a person and thinking as Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, right? Anything less than that, if anybody understands less than that understanding, he is creating a big havoc to himself. He is going to create such a big trouble to himself. The mantra 10 explains, the wise have explained that one result is derived from the culture of knowledge and that a different result is obtained from the culture of nescience. So, culture of knowledge and culture of nescience are diametrically opposite results. And Srila Prabhupada explains 18 points in association with this culture of knowledge and culture of nescience. He says, if anybody understands those 18 points, I'm not going to read all the 18. You can refer Ishopanishad, Mantra 10, purport. Srila Prabhupada explains the 18 points as advised in chapter 13 of Bhagavad Gita, 13.8 through 12. One should culture knowledge in the following way. He is explaining so many things. I want to identify only 2 points from that, and definitely, dwell on the whole reflection. 3 points, sorry. Point number 10, point number 11, and point number 18 of this purport of Upanishad Mantra 10. Point number 10, Prabhupada writes, one should not accept more than he requires for the maintenance of the body. Point number 11, one should not falsely identify himself with the gross material body, nor should one consider those who are related to this body to be his own. So, if someone is wanting to cultivate knowledge, and the 18th point is one should become a scientist or a philosopher and conduct research into spiritual knowledge, recognizing that spiritual knowledge is permanent, whereas material knowledge ends with the death of the body. So when writing this, after writing these 18 points, Srila Prabhupada writes this. These 18 items combine to form a gradual process by which real knowledge can be developed. Except for these, all other methods are considered to be in the category of science. So, my first reflection to say, for understanding God is a person, we should also understand that we are not this body. So they are both going to be interconnected. As Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj explains, that Mayavada starts from identifying body or the individual self, God, super self, and relationship between self and super self. So from that standpoint, it is important that so for the self and super self, you can take Wi-Fi. You have to identify between self and the super self. If you do not have the basic understanding, that is why Atato Brahma Jignasa. Atato Brahma Jignasa, if you do not have the basic understanding about who you are, you will not have an understanding from whom you came from. And you will not have a relationship with that person. Because if I think I am made of chemicals, then I will think that I am coming from chemicals also. So everything is like, Shah Rukh Khan statement. हम एक ही बार जीते हैं, एक ही बार मरते हैं, अय्याशी करो जिंदगी. So there is a famous millennial words here, YOLO. If you go and ask any millennial, what is YOLO? So they say, you only live once. For those people who talk about you only live once, they don't understand about soul, they don't understand about super soul. So my first reflection is to say that Ma Muda is the greatest fool by him understanding that he is this material body. So much of distractions for me today, I'm sorry. So he is understanding that he is this body. He will not understand super soul also. So my 2 cents here to explain this point is Atato Brahma Jignasa. Ask question. That is the beginning point of Brahma's realization. Brahma did not get Divya Gyan. Brahma did not get transcendental revelation before he asked a question about who he was. In the creation story, first Brahma wanted to know who he was and what is he supposed to do. And he heard tapa, tapa, tapa sound. Then he meditated on the, meditated and the Lord revealed. So endeavor to understand God is a person begins with endeavor to know who am I. To help that, understanding, very next verse, mantra 11 of Upanishad is giving a profound statement. Only one who can learn the process of science and that of transcendental knowledge side by side can transcend the influence of repeated birth and death and enjoy the full blessings of immortality. So combine verse number 10 and 11 of Upanishad into this current context to explain why God is a person needs to be understood at least from the perspective of our Vedic literatures. Whether we can comprehend, whether we can assimilate, whether we can live by that, whether we can propagate that, those are all subsequent statements. First is, I need to accept the truth, even if I don't like, if I don't agree, even if I do not want it to be propagated. So that is called universal truth. Sun rises in the east is a universal truth. The Supreme Personality of God is Krishna, is a universal truth. So God is a person, is supposed to be an universal truth, but unfortunately, the modern media and education system has created a confusion that our modern day generations, they are not even subscribing to God consciousness. So that is why Krishna, knowing all these things, he says, Avajananti Mamuda. If somebody sees my activities and does not have a foundational understanding about my transcendental activities, form, nature, and everything, they are very unfortunate. They are Mamuda, the greatest fools. So my first reflection is to say, Krishna is a person, and Krishna is a supreme person, and Krishna is the father of all the creation. All three are explained by Krishna by 3 verses in Bhagavad Gita. Aham sarvasya prabhavo, matta sarvam pravartate. This is number 1 verse. Second verse is that Sutre manigana eva matta parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mayi sarvamidam proktam Sutre manigana eva. In the first verse, Aham sarvasya prabhavo, he says, I am sarvasya prabhu. I am superior to everything. And Sutre manigana eva, the entire creation is resting on me. Aham bija pradapitaha. In the future, he says that I am the seed-giving father of everyone. And if Krishna is the father, Krishna is the creator, and we are dependent on him. So we are this body. Temporarily, this body is a covering, but we are the spirit soul. That is a permanent thing. Vasamsi jirnani. This body is a temporary covering. That is why mantra 11 says, please learn the process of knee signs and the process of transcendental knowledge side by side. If you don't understand the process of knee signs and that of transcendental knowledge side by side, you can't enjoy the full blessings of immortality. You can't enjoy. Now, what is this process of knee signs? We understand process of knowledge from the previous purport. 18 points Prabhupada mentioned. Previous purport meaning Ishopanishad mantra 10. But what is this process of knee signs? Because we are already in knee signs. How do you explain knee signs? Krishna Surya Saman Maya Hara Antahar. Knee signs means darkness, ignorance, Maya, Kali. They are all called knee signs. So the process of knee signs, to understand them, we will explain them in 4 parts. The person could be associated with knee signs either in the form of action. A person could be associated with knee signs in the form of intent. A person could be associated with knee signs as a victim, and a person could be associated with knee signs with complete ignorance and even sometimes innocence. So it is important for us to make sure that the victim and innocent category are illuminated and saved from the remaining 2 category, because those who are in the action zone of knee signs, those who are in the action zone of ignorance, those who are in the action zone of doing abominable things, those who are in the action zone of committing heinous act of trying to propagate how God is false and God's creation is false and God's form is false, they're already classified as Muda. And somebody has an intent, he is no better than those who are in action. So those 2 categories are called Asurik. Those 2 categories are called foolish. And those 2 categories are supposed to be rejected without any questions asked. That is why it is said, Dur Raho. Mayavada Bhashya Hoile Sunile Sarvanas. But the remaining 2 quadrants of knee signs, one is a victim quadrant, another is an innocent quadrant. They may be somebody with whom, if we go and give some helping hand, if we go and give them some, Divya Gyan, they can be saved. Otherwise, many a times we play victim card to stay in ignorance. We tell about our innocence and ignorance to stay in ignorance. So that is why the process of knee saints to be understood, that if somebody is not able to ask questions, if somebody is not able to recognize about his transcendental constitutional position, if somebody is not able to get themselves out of darkness, then that person, will have to be saved, or will have to be rejected. So in that purport, Prabhupada writes that Hiranyakashipu, I will just read one small portion of the purport. Shri Ishopanishad instructs us not to make one-sided attempts to win the struggle of existence. Everyone is struggling hard for existence, but the laws of material nature are so hard and fast that they do not allow anyone to surpass them. In order to attain a permanent life, one must be prepared to go to Godhead. The process by which one goes back to Godhead is a different branch of knowledge, and it has to be learned from revealed Vedic scriptures such as Upanishads, Vedanta Sutra, Bhagavad Gita, and Srimad Bhagavatam. And finally, Prabhupada writes to say that the living being is a spiritual entity, and he can be happy only by returning to his spiritual home. The Lord has kindly delivered the above mentioned scriptures in India and other scriptures in other countries to remind the forgetful human being that his home is not here in this material world. Crystal clear. So my first reflection is, God is a person. God is a supreme person. We are subservient to God. God's creation is transcendental. It could be temporary. The material world is temporary, but the spiritual world is eternal. His leelas, his devotees, as explained in this particular verse of particular context of Caitanya Bhagavata. So we need to understand that we will have to subscribe to the personalist theory of Krishna consciousness and never buy ourselves to the concept of impersonalism. So by we talking about God as a person, we have to also act like God is a person by worshipping him like he is a person, by offering him bhoga like he's a person, by giving him all the opulences, by worshipping like a person. Recently we had our temple opening in ISKCON of Navi Mumbai. Our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi had visited the temple. So as a part of our inauguration, I was involved in Prime Minister's welcoming, apart from all the other services that I was doing. One of the services was I was part of the Prime Minister's welcoming panel. So we had almost 6 days of intense working with police officials for Prime Minister's safety, security arrangements, and things like that. So in the process of welcoming a Prime Minister, the kind of detailed and meticulous planning for his safety, security, comfort, and organization, what we went through, we knew. From morning till night, and sometimes the last 2 days, we didn't even go home. We were given so much of detailing, almost 40 departments of the government. They were in the temple, from water, civil, mechanical, electrical, safety, security, secret services, crime branch, this branch, that branch, so many people. So one of our team members mentioned very profound statement that when we are welcoming Radha Madan Mohan ji, and when we are welcoming Prime Minister Narendra Modi, look at the intensity and meticulousness that we should have been, if for a material king, if for a material ruler, for a person who is a human being, just because he's a powerful human being and as well as good human being, if we are giving so much attention and details and personal touch to whatever he does, we had drill. Somebody behaved like a prime minister the day before he came and made us run around that how you should conduct, how you should talk, where you should stand, how many steps we should take, what time we should consume. We have to give a minute-to-minute program to the Prime Minister's office. So that's when we realize what we are not doing to Krishna. That's when we realize how Krishna is a person to whom we should do much more, and to much more intensity we should do it to Krishna. So the person who is dwelling in knee signs, the person who is completely engrossed in knee signs, in action as well as in intent, they are given up. But those who are staying in knee signs as a victim, because I was born in some situation, because I had been not exposed to situation. No, that you can be born poor, but you cannot. That is not your that is not in your control. But staying poor is in our control. Similarly, we may be born victim in knee signs, but it is up to us. That is, the person who asks him questions will be able to come out of it. This is Saman substance. That for us to understand Krishna is a person, it starts from questioning us, who am I? So if all the younger generation, they ask this question, who am I? And they start to go a little bit deeper, who am I? How I am not this just body, how I am not just what Shah Rukh Khan says or any Tom, Dick and Harry says. I am spirit, soul, and I have a responsibility, then the whole thing will completely change. So our entire Krishna consciousness movements, one of the agenda is to establish Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead and to make everyone be conscious of him. So this is the first reflection that I wanted to mention. Second is about the eternity aspect of Krishna's servants and servants of servants. We understand Krishna being eternal. We understand Krishna's abode being eternal. We understand that glories of Krishna being eternal also. Because Krishna is Vishnu Tattva, or Krishna is Krishna Tattva, Krishna, Bhagavan. But now, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling to Murari Gupta, I openly reveal to you, verse number 39, I openly reveal to you that my servants are eternal and the servants of my servants are also eternal. How do we understand this? The idea is that Krishna is very well equipoised person. Krishna is a fully non-biased in his nature. He is absolutely neutral to everyone. He doesn't have to take anyone's side. But at the same time, Krishna is very much attached and biased to his devotees. So I'm making a statement which is apparently contradictory. So Krishna is equal to everyone. Krishna is unbiased to everyone. Krishna is equipoised to everyone. At the same time, Krishna is biased towards his devotees. I have explained this aspect a couple of times before, but I'll explain it again. The eternity nature of Krishna's servants. The eternity nature of Krishna's servants and servants of the servants, to understand them, we have to understand 3 points. Point number 1, those who are surrendered to Krishna, they acquire the nature of Krishna's. Antaranga Shakti, Bhagiranga Shakti, Tatastha Shakti. We, Jivatma, especially the human beings, being the neutral, when we swing towards Krishna's internal potency, we acquire the qualities of them. So, number 1 point is, by we subscribing to Krishna consciousness, as I mentioned in the earlier reflection, even though we are not convinced, but we are accepting, Because the way spiritual knowledge work is, I first accept, I surrender, then if required, I will be able to get clarifications. Even if you are not clarified, you simply accept and surrender, and not blindly, but knowing that I have my limitations. In the due course of time, I will be enlightened. So, hence, the aspect of me trying to be getting all the knowledge in the beginning, and then only I will surrender is not going to work. So, coming back to eternal nature of the surrendered soul. So, first aspect is a person who surrendered to Krishna or who surrendered to Krishna consciousness acquires the nature of Krishna consciousness. Number two, the acquired nature of Krishna consciousness is such that it is contagious. It is continuously going to spread. So, I acquire a nature, and if I associate with someone, whoever is going to associate with me, there is the highest possibility that he can acquire that nature. It is the same way, the bad association, you attract bad qualities. The divine association, you attract divine qualities. Vaikunta means a place where there are no miseries. So when somebody is surrendered to Vaikunta Natha, when somebody is surrendered to Brajendra Nandana, if somebody is surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shama Sundara, he acquires nature. So, number one, because of surrendering Krishna, he has acquired a transcendental nature. Number two, because of that acquired transcendental nature, he can enable anyone coming in contact with him with the transcendental nature. And third is that no material element has got the ability to come and intervene or stop this. Because the nature of spiritual aspect is such that material phenomena does not have the ability to disrupt them. So with these three principles, we will understand the eternal nature of the servants of the Supreme Lord. The servants of the Supreme Lord, as I said, Krishna is partial to his devotees. So I will give an example, which I used to always give, and maybe some of you have heard this before, but I'll repeat it here. I am a maths teacher, and in my maths class, I have 25 students or 50 students. And at the end of the class, I am declaring, my dear students, tomorrow is a holiday. I am ready to conduct a special class on certain topics of maths because exams are coming. So you are welcome for the special class. Out of the 50 students, only 25 came to the special class. The offer was made to all the 50, but only 25 came to the special class. And out of those 25, 3 of them or 6 of them, after the class, accepted the offer made by the teacher, who said that I am available at my house. If anybody wants to take further more clarification, they can call me or visit me. I am ready to extend myself. As a courtesy, as a matter of the love and care that I share with you all, you can come to my house. I will, even though it is my personal time, I will give my time. So out of the 25, 6 of them went to the teacher's house. So the following working day, school day, when the teacher came to the class, out of the 50, the teacher addresses those 6 students more than she addresses the 25 more than she addressing the remaining, people who did not make it to the class. So those who did not come to the class at all, or those who came only to the special class, should not think the teacher was partial. The teacher was not partial. The teacher gave the offer to everyone. Those who reciprocated, she is carrying them more because they showed interest. So when Vaishnavas or when sincere souls, they accept the calling of the Lord, subscribe to that philosophy and that calling, then they get acquired nature of the transcendence. They distribute that nature of the transcendence to the extent that no knee signs can disrupt that person. So what is wrong or what is difficult in understanding that not only the Lord, but his devotees are also eternal. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that my servants are eternal and the servants of my servants are also eternal. And that is why there is a promise that Krishna is making to Prahlad Maharaj. For Prahlad Maharaj, he said 21 generations, but for others, it's 7 generations. Because of you being a devotee, they will also get the credit. So the credit system or the empowerment system or the blessings system that the Lord has created is very contagious. So that is why hippies could become happies. That is why we are all sitting here and discussing Caitanya Bhagavata, because it is contagious. Even though we have not fully understood, but we like them and we know there is some substance that for us to subscribe to. Once Atmatattva Prabhu mentioned this. The Krishna consciousness, contagiousness is so intense. It is rather easier to become Krishna conscious rather than to give up Krishna conscious. In the sense, by we knowing so much about Krishna, maybe we wouldn't have subscribed to them, maybe we wouldn't have applied them in our life, but we will not be able to live without Krishna. So we are right now in a state where we can't withdraw ourselves from Krishna consciousness. So why don't we actually rather fulfill Krishna consciousness rather than being stuck in between? We are trying to sail two boats. So my second reflection is to say that the pastimes, the Vaishnavas, the devotees, the servants, and the servants of the servants are all eternal. And even to an extent, he says, the pastimes and activities are also eternal. Because these activities are eternally happening, wherever they are happening, whether it's happening in the material world or the spiritual world, doesn't matter. They are divya. They are all transcendental. It is like a person who is a government officer responsible for jail. He going to the jail doesn't mean he is a culprit or is a prisoner. So a person going to jail could as well be jail superintendent. Similarly, we have, whilst we are in this material world, which is considered as Dukkhalayam Asashvata, which is considered as jail for the suffering souls. Those who have rejected the supremacy of the Lord, this place can as well be a place where we subscribe to Krishna consciousness and stay out of the jail's influence and stay afloat in spirituality. So hence, the activities are eternal. It is happening here, it will happen there, it will happen elsewhere also. Once Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj was walking on the Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati lane in Sridham Mayapur. So when he was walking in that lane on Gaura Purnima day, he held his cane and pointed to moon. He said, a day will come where we will celebrate, Gaura Purnima in moon. So for a practicing devotee, for a person who is engrossed in Krishna consciousness, every activities of Krishna consciousness are, eternal. So I would want to conclude my second reflection by saying that classify the knee signs, have courage to transform them or trash them, surrender to this process of devotional service and enjoy the freedom. Classify the knee signs, meaning that if something is subscribing against spirituality, against the first reflection saying God is person, then reject them. As I said, 4 quadrants of knee signs: action quadrant, intent quadrant, victim quadrant, and ignorant and innocent quadrant. Innocent, ignorant, and victim quadrant can be transformed by proper sangha, but the action and intent quadrant have to be trashed or you have to stay away from them. So classify all the knee signs in our. So by asking you questions, classify them. Have courage to trash them, even though it means that You have to completely change and surrender to this process of devotional life and enjoy the freedom. So this is with respect to the second reflection. The third reflection is about the aspect of hearing the glories of the Supreme Lord. All ignorances are destroyed. If all ignorances are destroyable, how come somebody is still remaining in ignorance? How somebody is still remaining in the state of illusion, state of falsity? So the answer is very much given in Vedic literature. The answer is very much given is because that those who are Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj writes in this purport only. I'll just read that portion. Those who, through material consideration, come to the understanding that temporary material objects are false and the pastimes of Hari are insignificant, like mundane perishable objects, such so-called learned, proud teachers, entangled by the ropes of Maya, indulge in sinful activities and thereby commit offenses. So, my third reflection is to say that how the glories of the Supreme Lord destroy all ignorances. To describe about the glories of the Supreme Lord destroy all ignorances, we can very well take our own lives as an example. We can very well take our own spiritual aspects as an example. In our spiritual life, much before coming in contact with Krishna consciousness, what were we? Jogyata vichare kichu nahi bai tomara karuna shara karuna na hoile kandiya prana na rakhi bhavara. Each and every one of us had our own understanding, had our own confusion, had our own ideologies. But Krishna said tomara, Krishna dite par tomara kachakati. Some Vaishnavas came and helped. So to establish this aspect of Krishna consciousness, or a person who is subscribed to Krishna consciousness, they will be able to get rid of all their ignorance. We need to look at two aspects of our functioning. One aspect is about the nobility part of it. Second aspect is about the focus part of it. So we were discussing about a topic on relationship. So when a person is trying to strike a relationship with any object or with any person, the focus and the purpose are to be defined. If my focus is self-centeredness, if my focus is about that I am the enjoyer, I am the beneficiary, I am the target, then all the activities will be centered around like that. But if the focus is towards the Supreme Lord, so the person who is in ignorance, he is in ignorance because of wrong focus. And to highlight the right focus, the purpose of life is to be defined, which is explained by the nobility, which is explained by the divinity, which is explained by the spirituality nature of self-realized soul. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that by hearing the glories, all the ignorances are destroyed, what happens is, when we hear about the glories of the Supreme Lord, the transcendental sound vibration enters our ears, goes to the heart, breaks the heart's stone into pieces. They try to completely kill the animosity against the Supreme Lord, because the nature of materialistic person is to think that he is the controller. I am the controller. I am the enjoyer. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasaha ahankara vimudatma kartahimiti manyate. Karta aham, I am the doer. I am the enjoyer. I am the beneficiary. Such a thinking actually kills him. But by hearing the glories of the Lord. When you say glories of the Lord, what does it happen? When we hear the glories of the Lord, all the nuisance, Hridayantastohi Abhadrani. Hridayantastohi Abhadrani, how does it happen? By constantly, when we hear about the glories of the Supreme Lord, attentively, constantly when we hear about the glories of the Supreme Lord, then the unwanted things in the heart gets removed, and vidunodhim suhrit satam, and evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogataha bhagavad tattva vijnanam mukta sangasa jayate vidyute hridaya grantis chidyante sarva samsayaha. So those verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, which the Prabhupada quotes in his song, it says that the power of hearing the transcendental sound vibration from a bona fide source does four things. It disrupts the stone-hearted persons, the stone in the heart, or the toughness of the person's heart gets crushed. Transcendence is established. A fence is formed. Vidyude hridaya grantis. Vidyude hridaya grantis. Chiyantache chaya jasmani. He says, all the unwanted things in the heart gets completely cleansed and it is completely protected. Vidyute hridaya grantis. It is very, very, I'm forgetting the next line. It is helping a person to establish transcendence in the heart. What is establishing? Nityam Bhagavata Sevya. So, stone-like heart is crushed. Transcendence is established. And this Bhagavatam also creates a fence so that further nuisances don't enter. And fourth is that you become a powerhouse to distribute. You become book Bhagavat, person Bhagavata. So a person Naradama to Narottama simply because of hearing the oral receptions. This is explained in 5th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, that the dust from the lotus feet, the saffron dust particles from the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, it enters the heart of a sadhaka through the sound vibration of self-realized soul. So the glories of the Supreme Lord spoken by a self-realized soul, when that sound vibration enters the heart, it's a natural process. And this process has been scientifically proven by a Japanese company who did an experiment on transcendental sound vibration, ordinary sound vibration, abusive sound vibration. They did a spectrum analysis. In that spectrum analysis of water, they chanted some Vedic mantras by a proper qualified bona fide Brahmana. When they chanted the mantra and they plotted the graph, they had normal conversation, they plotted the graph, and they gave some accusations or some abusive words, they plotted the graph, and they figured out how the mantra, the water in which mantra is chanted, it was very clean and smooth, and the curve, the spectrum analysis was very, they could even see the pattern. So the aspects that are explained in Vedic literature, they are scientifically establishable. And the proof is us. I was a conditioned soul, but now I am speaking Krishna consciousness, or at least trying to speak Krishna consciousness, at least trying to understand Krishna consciousness. I will end with this small point, which is very much, famous amongst Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's followers, about the pastime that happened in Srirangam. The Brahmana who was treated illiterate, who was, people were mocking at him, people were laughing at him. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave him the title as a Bhagavata, devotee, or a person who has really understood the purport, because he has gone past the stage of ignorance. simply because of his oral reception from his guru and his respect to his guru's words and trying to follow them. His ignorance or whatever, the materialistic understanding otherwise people would have got completely removed, and he got the real understanding how Krishna is Bhakta Vatsala. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced him. So all of us, we have been, toitering in this ignorance for eternity. But then when one sincere soul, Doya Kori More, Patita Dekiya, in the song Emana Durmati, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, some suffering soul, some sincere souls surrendered to the lotus feet of Krishna. They saw us suffering souls. They came and helped us. They came and helped us mitigate this ignorance by giving us transcendental sound vibration. So the power of transcendental sound vibration is such that so it will be able to establish pure goodness in the heart. So my third reflection is about how this ignorance in the heart is destroyable only when sound vibration, Srimad Bhagavatam, heard from a bona fide source in a bona fide manner, and that is explained by this Bhagavatam verses, where Bhagavatam crushes the heart, removes the unwanted things, establishes transcendence, create a fence around the transcendence, and enable us to become a Bhagavata to win other souls to their lotus feet. So from that perspective, that anyone who's subscribing, anyone who just say Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Krishna Bhagavan ki jai, Mayapur Navadip Dham ki jai, anything of that sort, subscribing to these ideologies, they are part of Krishna's transcendence. And anyone, how much ever scholarly he may be, if he is against these ideologies, then his life is going to be doomed. That's what does Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj statements. So before we conclude, we had 3 sets of reflections. First reflection is about to understand how God is a person, and knowing God is a person is a very important thing. And all our younger generation should not subscribe to modern day ideology, but to subscribe to Bhagavad Gita's ideology. Those 3 verses of Bhagavad Gita, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo, Matta Parataram Nanyat, and Aham Bija Pradapitaha. So all the 3 things establishes how Krishna is supreme and how Krishna is holding on all of us and how he is a seed-giving father. And to add to that point, we need to know that our material existence is to be understood for us to understand Krishna's existence. If I do not know who am I, if I do not know who, what is my nature, how can I understand Krishna? And the second reflection is about how we discussed the aspect of Krishna's servants are eternal. So, and how by surrendering to Krishna, we acquire Krishna's transcendental nature, and we acquire that nature by just simply surrendering to the process of Krishna consciousness. And with this nature is contagious, so we make others Krishna conscious, and we also make sure that this nature does not let any other nuisance coming and disrupting us. And third is that ignorances are destroyed by simply hearing to the glories of the Supreme Lord from the bona fide devotee. When we hear them, our heart's dirtiness get crushed, transcendence is established, fence is formed, and eventually we become a walking Bhagavatam, enabling so many other living souls. Thank you so much. I'll stop here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And I'm sorry that, if my thought process were not coherent or not in sync with the current context, please excuse me. But I'm sure there'll be a lot of comments, critics. I'll be happy to hear them and learn from you all. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Chaitanya Bhagavat ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for the beautiful class, Prabhuji. As usual, very nice class, Prabhu. Very grateful to you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. If any questions and realizations, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. So glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhu. Excellent session. It was a spontaneous class, but it doesn't look like it was a spontaneous class. Well prepared, well presented. Prabhuji, I just need little clarification. Of course, the point that you always explain about Krishna, Samoham Sarva Bhuteshu, and through that example, it's always so clear. I need little bit clarification that you were talking about the 4 quadrants of the material naissance. If you can repeat that, Prabhuji, please.
What we were discussing in our Bhakti Shastri classes, you need to know the process of nescience. The process of nescience is why Krishna is asking us to learn process of nescience. Why only knowledge, transcendental knowledge is not enough? Because sometimes we will be cheated by that which looks like knowledge, but we will get carried away. So the imitation looks like gold. So we discussed about a 4-part quadrant on nescience. How all nescience come around us. Nescience come around us in the form of action. Somebody coming and saying that yes, this is wrong, going against like Hiranyakashipu, so many atheists, so many Rakshasas, so many people for talking against God consciousness. Somebody is from the intent that their intent is to disrupt spirituality because they have a very wrong understanding. These two are very clearly identifiable. But most of us who are in between, we will continue to dwell in nescience, either because of our victim nature, victim to modern ideologies, victim to old, borrowed ideologies, or because of our innocence and ignorance. We should not. The idea point I was trying to say is that they are classified as nescience only to the extent that we don't act on them. Suppose, for example, nobody preached to me. I did not do anything wrong. I stayed at home. Nobody came and helped me. So I remained like this. How am I supposed to be blamed? That's a wrong, wrong argument. I am a victim of this modern day propaganda, but I should be taking responsibility for my life to cross-verify, to cross-check, to evaluate, to work for, moving forward. So we were discussing in the process of nescience. I cannot continue to be a victim of nescience and support nescience. Rather, I should challenge the nescience with the help of knowledge. I should not remain ignorant and innocent. So which means my not studying Prabhupada books, my not knowing Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, by not knowing certain aspects of Krishna consciousness, I cannot, excuse myself. I will continue to remain a fool. So I was saying that when we identify and escape myself out of the victim body, escape myself out of the, innocence and ignorance by voluntarily subscribing to associations, voluntarily subscribing to Bhagavatams, voluntarily subscribing to services, by which we will be able to come out of that nescience zone. Otherwise, there will be a lot of look-alike devotees, but they will continue to be Kali's Chela. I'll give one small example to end this. We had a benefit of going for a Vrindavan Yatra. I'm talking about around 26 years before. So myself, one of my senior god brother, and we were on a Vrindavan Parikrama. I was in my grade 12th or first year of engineering. This is in 1997 or 97, 97, 98. So at that time, we had this one devotee who used to be vice president of ISKCON of Calcutta at that time. I do not want to name, is no more in associated with ISKCON. So he came to us with the yatra. At that time, he was already 15 plus years in ISKCON. He was already quote unquote a senior devotee. He was quote unquote already a vice president of a temple. But he said to me, I have not studied Srimad Bhagavatam. I have not studied Bhagavad Gita. I only make life members. So what immediately stuck to me was, eventually he became a Ritvik. Eventually he had to be thrown out from, the movement because of the mistakes that he has done. But what stuck to my head at that time was that services to be done with under proper authority, under proper intelligence. If we are We cannot just say that I didn't have time to read, I didn't have time to understand, I didn't have time to, learn my spiritual aspects of it. So Krishna consciousness means I take self-responsibility and try to elevate myself from my signs by subscribing to transcendence. And transcendence is available in service for sure. But in this case, the example that I gave, because of not having enough understanding, not having enough hearing and reading, not having enough interest in clarifying your spiritual quest, we will continue to remain in these signs. Because Kali know where to operate. Kali know you are ignorant in your philosophy, he will operate there. Kali know you have weakness towards street foods, he will operate there. Kali know you have weakness towards women. Kali knows he has weakness towards certain things. So they will go on operating in those zones. So better we identify the victim within us and try to chase him away. Try to identify the ignorance and innocence. Innocence not in a bad manner, but sometimes we say that I am so innocent that I don't know anything. You cannot be like that. Like how we tell our children that you don't be too naive that you will be exploited. Your naivety is good only to the extent that you cannot be exploited. To that extent, I was explaining knee sense is in 4th quadrant. Let us learn that we have knee signs within us, and that might draw us away from Krishna. So hence, let me take my courage and drive him away. Making sense, Mataji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Definitely. It's very, very clear and makes so much sense. I do have a follow-up question, but I don't want to take time.
Sure, no problem.
Go ahead. You have time,
Yeah.
Prabhu?
Yeah, ma.
So now you are talking about this nascent. So this also depends upon the 2 categories. Okay,
Yes.
so one is I being a devotee or aspiring devotee, knowingly getting into nascence by not reading Srila Prabhupada books or not associating with the devotees. So definitely fault lies in me and ignorance is not an excuse. But what about those who are not even in touch with such spirituality, I should say, and they are totally people who are into their sense gratifications? They coming out of nascence will be totally upon the mercy, or the responsibility still lies on them?
Both. So
Both.
this is where you and me are to be blamed. If we don't preach, then we are to be blamed. That is why, we are not supposed to be kripana. So at any day, every individual have to strive hard at least to ask the question. They may not know where to ask the question. They may not know how to get the correct answer, but at least they should have questions. Many people have been directed. Prabhupada writes in 4th canto, 10th chapter, one of the purports Prabhupada writes. In Dhruva Maharaj's case, Dhruva Maharaj's curiosity brought, Dhruva Maharaj's intensity brought, Dhruva Maharaj's devotion, meaning devotion to see the Lord, not the devotion, but an intensity to see the Lord, connected him with Narada Muni. So you need not have necessary resources to know the answer, but you have enough resources to develop the intensity to know the right answer. To that extent, the ownership is living into those ignorant, innocent people. But one portion of responsibility lies with you and me as preachers, devotees. Yesterday only Guru Prasad Maharaj, gave a speech. Yesterday night, 3-4 days before in our temple. He's a GBC chairman now. He said every Bhakti Shastri student, every Bhakti Vaibhava student, he mentioned as a point, he said should take responsibility in trying to impart transcendental knowledge to the society at large, and they should make sure as a part of their daily routine. I'm just paraphrasing him. So it is like this. If I know by not having Krishna consciousness, the society is going to be degraded, and I do not take any endeavor in spreading Krishna consciousness according to my capacity, then I am equally a culprit or a victim who is spreading these signs by not contributing towards knowledge. So to that extent, all of us practicing devotees should take endeavor in spreading Krishna consciousness to the limit maximum that you can. 1% to 1%, 100% to 100%, 1000 to 1000, karna hi padega. If I don't do it, I will just be sitting at home doing idle, nothing. So unless you have chosen to, whatever reason, it is not accepted according to the Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj's mood. So it is important for us to be contributing towards Sankirtan mission in some capacity. We have to be part of solution, not continue to remain as a part of the problem. Making sense?
Wow, that's such a strong statement, Prabhu. But yes, it complete sense, and thank you.
And that is how Prabhupada spread this movement. That is how missionaries are operating, and that is how we can. It is like this, Mataji. I personally say this. By we blabbering, we going and telling, oh, my children are spoiling, society is bad, society is degrading. You see how things are bad. What are we doing towards that? Am I doing something towards that? If I am not doing something towards that, according to Bhishma Dev, we are part of the problem. If I am doing, even just thinking about it, even just praying to Krishna, my dear Krishna, may there be some souls. I remember one time I took some devotees to a yatra to Vrindavan Dham during Kartik. So, I wasn't sure how to inspire everyone to, develop the mood of prayer. So we were in Radha Damodar temple in front of Rupa Goswami's Samadhi. So we were doing Kirtan at that time. We were discussing this point. We are not able to go to every nook and corner of the world and preach. But there are so many preachers who are doing them, risking their lives. Can we pray for them? Can we wish them good luck? Can we say, Krishna, please make sure that their necessary resources are made available to them? I can't do that, but should I not even worry about that? That is not acceptable. So at Narsingananda Brahmachari, he didn't have any resources to travel with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But just by staying at his house, he served Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left, right, center. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj writes, a person who has spiritual potency cannot stay quiet in his house knowing about Krishna conscious philosophy. He will constantly, be, vibrating with anxiety, how to give Krishna consciousness to others. He may not even go out and preach. His anxiety itself is enough. Somebody will preach. So that is my point. Make sense?
Yes, Prabhu, 100%. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you, and sorry for taking a lot of time. Thank you. Sorry, devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Parima Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for such a wonderful class, a very, very practical class, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I have one question that, as you said, that, if we need to contribute to the movement in any way we can, like by spreading the word or distributing books. Prabhuji, whenever I just came across someone who I said that, Bhagavad Gita as it is like, it's like the perfect version of the Bhagavad Gita. And I think you should go ahead and read it, or I can give you that Bhagavad Gita. And the response was, oh, it is Vaishnavite. It is only fit for Vaishnavas, the ISKCON Bhagavad Gita. And I just wanted to argue, but I thought it's like, I shouldn't be angry or argue with that person. But if you come across somebody like that, how do you convince that person to accept that Bhagavad Gita as it is like?
In the set of verses, thank you for your kind words, Mataji. In the set of verses that we just read today, the very first verse that we read was about how Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and so many great personalities, they are worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it is not Bhagavad Gita is Vaishnavism, Bhagavad Gita is universalism. It is something for everyone. So when I buy a medicine and I consume the medicine based on two things. One is prescription of the practitioner, physician, as well as some description in the cover casing, how to use them or things like that. Expiry date, manufacturing date, and certain things. These two details put together makes the medicine consumable or not consumable. So here Bhagavad Gita has the prescription, and the Bhagavata has prescribed Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavata, Krishna came as a Bhagavata, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's followers, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada as a Bhagavata, came and told, here is a tablet, you take it. Now, the argument is somebody is saying, this is Vaishnavism, or this is Arjuna, when he spoke to Krishna, he never spoke on the topic of Vaishnavism, Shaivism, or Jainism or Judaism. He spoke about existence. The conversation is about existence. Gaur Gopal Das is going and giving a conversation lecture in Google or Aapki Adalat, or in Kapil Sharma show or anywhere. He is representing himself as a noble human being than as a Gaudiya Vaishnava. He is in a Gaudiya Vaishnava attire, but the words that he is expressing, which is of course underlying we have Gaudiya Vaishnavism, but he's trying to communicate, guys, at least try to make sure that you subscribe to Dharma, subscribe to righteousness, subscribe to certain things. So we need to make sure that in our preaching, when people use such terminologies, we can always overcome by presenting little larger perspective to them. Many people sometimes don't, take if my Maharaj is a Maharashtrian, I will take initiation from him, which means you are still not ready for initiation. No, I will Amchi Maharaj. I will go and take my initiation only from Loknath Maharaj because he's Maharashtrian, which means you are breaking one fundamental understanding of surrendering to a guru. So we have to go take them one step, broader. This is one aspect of it. Another aspect of it, I'll tell you, which is completely tangential statement, but I will still tell. If you see in the Bollywood celebrity world, people worship or people try to, imitate certain celebrities. Say, for example, A.R. Rahman or, any great celebrities like that. Because they do their work professionally perfect. I'm not talking about purity. I'm not talking about, transcendence here. Simply materialistic work. They do it with excellence, impressive, and with absolute dedication. They go and try to emulate his ideologies also. They go and try to subscribe to his, practices also. Even when they don't subscribe to Muslim religion, when they speak to him, they ask him, Khuda ki shan. The Khuda, shan, these are words, they are all not connected with, Hinduism words. They are connected with other religion. But when they try to address him, they give respect to his, beliefs also. What I mean to say is, sometimes as a preacher, sometimes as a practicing devotee, our own personal practices and the way we conduct ourselves would also impress the person. Hey, how come you're able to efficiently perform this? Maybe there's some secret within you. I regularly study Bhagavad Gita. Oh, maybe I will also try this. So sometimes our preaching could as well be our personal conduct and personal practices. It is not what we speak. It is not even how we speak. It is about who we are. People will get impressed. There are two sides of it. I said both in terms of the preaching strategy, but the most powerful than the preaching strategy is about our personality. Any sense, Mataji?
Prabhuji, I didn't want to interrupt you, but they were not fine with accepting that ISKCON Bhagavad Gita is like as it is. They wanted something Advaiti, or because there are many versions. I haven't read all the versions, so I'm no expert in saying that what is the difference. So I just couldn't tell them anything. But then how do you address such situations?
So we can break them. So maybe there are people who are biased because of some past experiences or some colored opinions. So we can give them smaller books. We can give them if it is like this. 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita is a tactic by which we can try to present somebody devotion. If that doesn't work, then 2 weeks before we discussed about what Chaitanya Bhagavat in Chaitanya Shikshamrita Bhaktivinoda Thakur mentioned. At least bring them to the level of dharma. If they subscribe to dharma, Prabhupada says, if you cannot make them a bhakta, can you bring them to the level of dharmic person? If you cannot bring them to a person of dharmic person, can you bring them to a person of morality? But the challenge here is, that is why this outreach preaching and the bridge preaching that Gaur Gopal Prabhu and Jai Shetty and so many people are doing, they are covering a fantastic big mass who doesn't even have the base of spirituality, who doesn't even have the base of dharma and morality and ethics. So it is very generic answer that I'm giving, because it varies from person to person. Whom are you dealing with? What gender are you dealing with? What age group you are dealing with? There are several strategies can be adopted, but one simple aspect is if somebody doesn't like Prabhupada's books, try them with what they could subscribe to. Maybe can they buy Prabhupada's small books? Can they buy Gaur Gopal Prabhu's books? Can they buy some other books? Some there, the other. If my mother does not take tablets in the form of a capsule, can I make them as a powder? If she cannot take, can I give it as a tonic? Can I give it as an injection? Can I give it as some other way? That's all. So if they don't buy Bhagavad Gita as it is, we have so many capsules in ISKCON which are capsuled in the Bhagavad Gita as it is content, packaged differently. So many lectures you give them. So they will get, the point is today they are in kind of an ignorance, or they are in kind of a preconceived notion. So we have to break them. So if somebody cannot subscribe it, they will not subscribe it, how much ever you try to force them. Rather you try to find another way by which they subscribe. If they don't read Bhagavad Gita as it is, give Gauranga Prabhu's book or Gaur Gopal Prabhu's book or some other Maharaja's book or some other way of presenting the spirituality, so that they are able to feel it. The day they experience it, they'll come after you. So to make them feel it is we have plenty of capsules. Am I making some sense?
Yes, Prabhuji, but that was the most wonderful point. Give them some other books, yeah. Because because there are so many people you come across, because especially in India, they already have a preset ideology. They have some other religious background that they are practicing, or they are completely not interested. So it's like preaching it's very challenging, Prabhuji, with
I will tell
different
you a
ideologies.
very interesting story. There was a devotee, disciple of Srila Prabhupada. His name is Buddhimanta. He's a very, very wonderful book distributor. So one day, this person was distributing Bhagavad Gita. The way he was distributing Bhagavad Gita was so impressive. So one guy came to the one owner of a company. He saw Buddhimanta's ability to distribute books. So he said, hey, I would like to hire you for my company. As a token of my, acknowledgement to your ability, I will buy all your books now. So Buddhimanta said, sir, I'll be very happy. I will join your company. So he sold all the books to that guy. So 1 week later, he called, Buddhimanta and said, hey, when are you going to join? He said that, sir, I have a small, situation that I have one more new volume, which is called Srimad Bhagavatam. That I think I need to sell them off before I kind of hand over my responsibility. I'm just paraphrasing. I don't know the exact nuances of this episode, but so that person did not want to lose this candidate for his company. He said, okay, I will buy that also. So he sold him Srimad Bhagavatam set. Then 1 week later, he called and said that, when are you going to join? He said, I'm sorry, sir. There's one more, thing that I want to. So he sold Chaitanya Charitamrita. Like that, he sold all the Prabhupada books to that guy. Whether he, I'm just, this is just to, say that sometimes our book distributors are super smart. They know how to sell the books. But of course, our friend and a very, senior devotee, Vaisheshika Prabhu's book distribution seminars gives you wonderful techniques and ways and means by which we can present Prabhupada books. I personally attended his seminar, and there are 10 pointed techniques that he presents how to present Srila Prabhupada books to a person. The reason I told Buddhimanta's story was that it is a little funny, but then the conviction he had that somehow or other I should give Prabhupada's book to that person made him sell all Prabhupada books to that guy. That guy had all the library of Prabhupada books, but he never joined that person's company. That's the point I want to say.
Okay. Wonderful, Prabhuji.
I mean, we need not imitate that, but
Yeah,
I
I understand, but yeah, that was wonderful, actually. Wonderful way of kind of, giving the books. Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your wonderful answer. I at least got my answer, what I should do. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams.
Lakshmi Mataji, please go ahead with your question.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhu. Very wonderful class. Prabhu, my question is regarding the second reflection, Prabhu, the contagiousness of Krishna consciousness. So practically, Prabhu, you even mentioned about the bad association, like how it's contagious. We immediately get it. But when you come to Krishna conscious, I even have practically seen one Prabhu. He's been serving Jayapatak Maharaj. But once he told me that he's been so many years there, but his parents has never visited Navadip. They are not into Krishna consciousness, and he's actually with their parents also. He goes and comes, so he's with association only. So my question is, I see so many kids are in Krishna conscious but parents don't come, and vice versa. So what is lacking in both the sides, Prabhu? I want to know in both the sides. In the devotee side also something is lacking, or in the side, and mainly for the non-devotees, why they are not getting this Krishna conscious very contagious, as we see the like bad habits that's so contagious, they get it very fast. So what is happening, Prabhu?
Wow. You have touched a very important and sensitive point, which is very favorite to me. We can speak for this whole night, but I will tell you this based on my personal assessment. I was the chief executive of ISKCON's Ministry of Education. I was reporting to Sesha Prabhu, and I was spearheading Ministry of Education's responsibility, ISKCON's Ministry of Education, for 5 years, from 2014 till 2019 or 2018, 2019. So 5 years, I was having this global responsibility to look after ISKCON's Ministry of Education. And in the process, I met, spoke, interacted with so many, educators as well as devotees. And I have my own senses. It's a little my own data, but I will tell you some shocking revelation. 50% of, don't hold me responsible on the numbers, but at least gravity is that much. 50% of Krishna consciousness family don't have Krishna consciousness environment, in the sense that if parents will be devotees, kids are not devotees, or kids are devotees, parents are not devotees. So let us, 50% of them are not there. And those who are not in Krishna consciousness, 50% of them, they have not become Krishna consciousness because of the behavior of the devotee. Meaning, either you overdo Krishna consciousness, or you amateurishly do Krishna consciousness, or you wrongly preach Krishna consciousness. So, sometimes, especially with respect to the children part of it, where the parents are devotees, children are not devotees, I would attribute on 4 reasons. Children not being given attention in the name of devotional service. Children not being given an opportunity to see the parent as an example is again. The opposite has happened, where the parent showed the sign of duplicity, showing one side of him at home and the other side of him outside, has brought in some sort of bitterness, and parents being let losing their children without any I would say God or guide in letting their children to explore the world, so not being very concerned or careful about it. So my response to your situation is, yes, that scenario is very scary. And the first solution is, as a parent, as an adult, as a senior, let's fix our conduct. The same answer I gave it to the previous question. Our personal conduct will inspire our family. Number 2, let's make sure that at least we open our heart and open our intelligence to stop subscribing to bad things, either it is done by our family or by extended family. Because many times I've seen parents, they say that no, he will learn on his own, life will teach him. So we should make sure that, I'm not trying to give a parenting seminar here, that's a separate topic, but at least let us state what is wrong, and at least try to save our people. And the third and the most important aspect of it is, as a family, we need to understand Krishna consciousness is not given only by Krishna consciousness part of activities. Our way of life, we all need love, care, emotions, time. Sometimes our family is so much gagged with Krishna consciousness activities that they are not heard, they are not felt, they are not, having a necessary support. So sometimes we forget that we are all human beings and we have other needs as well. So many people I know where they have applied the principle of Garbhadana Samskar for begetting child, and their marriage is in such a mess that the husband doesn't want a kid outside of whatever arrangements. There are so much of ideologies around this grahastha and attachments and this and that. So I guess we need good preachers. That is why we say study Srimad Bhagavatam nicely, study the application of Srimad Bhagavatam nicely, and have a good community of devotees who can demonstrate application of Srimad Bhagavatam practically demonstrable with love and care. So love and care is missing. That is why so many people are not Krishna conscious. If love and care is given, philosophy given less is okay, but love and care is very much important. Each and every one of us need love and care. I did in my life several such mistakes and behaved in a very irresponsible manner by not presenting Krishna consciousness nicely. I say this and stop. You have a wonderful product. Please learn to market them correctly. If you market a wonderful product in a bad manner, I think it is a crime on our part. So please learn to market Krishna nicely. Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, but how we present Krishna to others is in our hands. So all these families are struggling because of some of their own mistakes or some of them not owning up to their mistakes. There have been many, many, many things that can be said, but this is a sum and substance of this. Am I making some sense?
Yes, Prabhu. It was very intense, Prabhu. It's a very big topic. You said children are not cared in the name. Sometimes they give more importance to Krishna conscious. The basic thing which has to be given is not given. So that's where the children's they see it differently. They see it in a different way.
Yes. For them, it is like this, Mataji. I used to jokingly say this. In our building, we have around 7-8 devotee families. One family, when they used to feed their child, please eat fast, otherwise I will tell Ramgiri Prabhu. Please eat fast, otherwise I will tell Ramgiri Prabhu. Please eat fast, I will tell Ramgiri Prabhu. That child will grow thinking that one day I will see who that Ramgiri Prabhu is and I will thrash that guy. Because somebody is, stuffing up food on my mouth in the name of Ramgiridhari. So I'm quoted as a putana for that girl or for that child. In a joking manner, it is said, but then the point is sometimes we do not know to present. So don't scare people with Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is happily performed, naturally executed, and very scientifically, systematically done. And no two people will have same trajectory. This way, oh, that girl is growing this fast, you should have also been like this. No, it is not like that. Each and every one of us have got our own trajectory. I have been in 36 years in this movement, and if I compare with all other people, somebody has even taken sannyas by now in 36 years. So, but I have not even grown. So I have to repent and introspect where I have gone wrong. If I start imitating somebody, then I will further fall down. So it is important that Krishna consciousness is not treated as just a part of our life. Krishna consciousness is a way of life. It has got cultural component. It has got emotional component. It has got scientific component, intellectual component, interpersonal component. So many components are there. So don't take Krishna consciousness as some sort of a fixed, boxed ideology. Krishna consciousness is so fluid, and Prabhupada has given so many options, so many varieties of ways by which we can grow in devotion.
Yes, Prabhu. Very nice, Prabhu. Now, Prabhu, the same question, like I'm asking in a different version, like not right now for practical. Prabhu, we see like, for example, in Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, we have Kura Talwar. He was not a normal person. He's like an Amsha of Lord himself, Vishnu. But you see, when even the kings at that time, they were going to hurt him. So there also I get the question. So he's an exalted devotee, Amsha of Vishnu, but when other people come into his association, they are not even accepting it and they go to the extent of hurting him. And even now we see devotees are getting hurting in so many places. So like how did this happen, Prabhu? Why they yeah.
The Lord, there are, again, this is this is a generic answer. Every specific situation, every pastime have got different reasoning. But a general answer is, a Vaishnava goes through humiliation because of three things. A Vaishnava goes through humiliation, number one, either because of some mistakes he would have done in the past, Krishna wanted to rectify. Number two, maybe to remove some residual attachment, he may have to be put through some tough situations. Third is, a Vaishnava, by him going through that humiliation, he teaches to the whole world that how much ever challenges come my way, my attachment and surrender to Krishna is undeterred. So all the three are true. And whoever is instigating, whoever is committing, causing pains to them, again, depends upon every pastime. That scenario is different. But at least at the receiving end, a Vaishnava is always a Vaishnava. Even if he is apparently going through some challenges, even if he is apparently going through some, some pains, or if he is, if he is in distress, he is always a Vaishnava. Krishna treats him with utmost care. Just that externally we will have some different arrangements, but Krishna is personally attending to him, so we don't need to worry. And Kunti Maharani says this, Akinchana Gochara, when he is explaining, Kunti Maharani says this, Krishna will withdraw all material, all, external aspects, and he will make his devotees very much surrendered unto him. And the same thing Bilvamangala Thakura says in Chaurashtakam. So if you want to go past all those stages, we have to go through these stages of purification. And technically speaking, for a surrendered soul, it doesn't matter. Because whether it is pain or pleasure, for him, Krishna is the focus. Make sense?
Yes, Prabhuji. Because while listening to this pastimes, we get very much worried. Like, how could this happen to such an exalted devotee? But
It will happen
now
to us
we are.
also.
Yes.
It will happen to us also. Everyone.
Okay.
It will happen as for. I am saying chant Hare Krishna and be happy is a universal statement. You have to drill down, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. There are several steps in there. So the chant Hare Krishna, be happy. And this and word, there are so many steps are there. You have to go through anartha and everything. You have to go Nishta, Asakti, Ruchi, Bhava, then only Prema. So be happy also have several gradations of happiness. So Krishna consciousness is joyfully performed. Enjoy the journey. You will enjoy even in pain only when you know that Krishna has taken charge of you. That much confidence you should have. Yes, I am surrendered. I am under Krishna's hand. Come what may, nothing will happen to me. Because it is his prerogative. He can do whatever he wants upon me. That understanding, the day we get, nothing will bother us. That is why self-realized souls are not deterred by any challenges. They know they are in Krishna's custody. No materialistic, no external forces can come and, mess them up.
Very nice, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. That's very hope-giving, very nice. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Jai Sachinandana.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. I'm very grateful to you for answering all the questions very patiently and coming on the call in the last minute. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Very grateful to you. We will look forward again for your association. We are very, very grateful to you, Prabhu. I would like to offer my obeisances to you and all the Vaishnavas assembled on the call. Vancha kalpatarobhyasya kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, His Grace Ramgiridhari Prabhuji ki jai.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you so
Prabhuji.
much,
Dandavat
Prabhu.
pranam.
Very
So
grateful to you
nice class
again.
all
Hare
the
Krishna.
time. Inspiring class.
Prabhuji,
Good
thank you.
answers and good questions.
It was a 2-hour session today, so sorry for that.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, everybody. See you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
members.